If you are anything like me or just wondering, why do we have to have this conversation in the outdoors? You got a home here. Welcome to the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Appreciate you hanging out. This is, for those that are new, I've been doing this show for 11 years, and it has been the absolute joy of my life. My other job, day job, has been news talk radio for 15 years, 16 actually, here in the Valley, and where I live in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I've in tune politically, did the whole. I still do that with Rob, but we're doing a different show now called In Other News. So it's news that doesn't have the same spin and nonsense that you're hearing on cable news, but I'm dialed in on that. One of the things that we talk about quite often is the issue of a separation, and everybody's got to be on one side or the other, and a lot of that gets involved in race, religion, ideology, political affiliation. And I'm very comfortable in that space. I'm very comfortable talking about race. I'm very comfortable talking about economy. I'm very comfortable talking about things that don't have anything to do with the outdoors. But this is my joy. My daily joy at 11 o'clock right here is just my recharge, getting away from all that yuck and talking about what I love and what I'm deeply passionate about, and it's the outdoors. And then I see this. I'm like, do we have to have this conversation? Why? Why do we have to have this conversation? Because the conversation doesn't belong here. And I'm going to show you this right now. I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to read this headline out loud right when it hits the screen, and y'all know right where I'm going with this. Ready? Here we go. All right. Hunters of Color is on a mission to make the outdoors more accessible to minorities. Ready for this? This just got me hopping mad. Whether the hunting community is ready or not. Put it back in the deck. What's his name? Dak Collins. Stop playing the race card with me, dude. This whole conversation does not belong in the outdoors. I have never even thought of race in the outdoors. I have hunted, fished with every color you could possibly imagine and had the best of times. And no, this isn't one of those, oh, I have a black friend, or oh, I have a Hispanic friend. No, I've hunted with more, I think, more Hispanic men than I have white dudes. I'm not kidding. I think it's absolutely crazy to even put that in there. Now, Hunters of Color seems to be a good organization. I'll look them up. Maybe I can have them on. It's pretty rad. Is on a mission to make the outdoors more accessible to minorities. That's all that should say, because they have, in 4 years, they got 14 chapters, hundreds of members, 47 states. Bam. Love that. That's great. That's something to celebrate, right? That part of the headline, we celebrate that. And then whether the hunting community is ready or not, implying what? That we're all a bunch of racist rednecks out here just shooting things. I'm blown away by this. One of my favorite outdoor living is one of my favorite, and I mean favorite publications. I love it until I saw this. Oh, they're going to hear some words from me. This is absolutely absurd. And what it is, I think Dak Collins is actually in Canada. And he's talking about the lack of mentors that are needed for organizations like Hunters of Color. And you got to scroll down. And what you find is the challenging access to firearms in Canada is limiting the mentorship, not the, oh, we can't find mentors that want to hang out with kids that don't have the same skin color as them. This is asinine. This is just clickbait crap, and it just had me just hopping mad. Whether the hunting community is ready or not. You know what? We're ready. I want you black, brown, every kind of color. I want you wearing skinny jeans. I want you wearing designer boots out there. I want you wearing beanies in the middle of summer. Like, you remember that? I don't think the kids do that anymore. But yes, grab them. Let's go fishing. Come on. I saw this cool video the other day of a man he was out fishing. He saw a young man fishing for the first time. And he rolled over to him and started talking to him. Come out and find out he borrowed a pole. And the man just gave him his whole setup. Said, here you go. Every man should have a fishing pole. and just happened to be an old white guy, young black kid, and this story just melting. That's where reality lives. Dak Collins lives in the 15%, because it's gone from 10%. If y'all know me, I used to say there's 10% wackos on the right, 10% wackos on the left. 80% is where common sense Americans live, and we all just get along and like to have a beer and talk about cool stuff. Now it's 15, 70. Okay, so Dak Collins is obviously on the 15% on one side that just thinks everybody in the hunting world might not be ready to have people in our world and our sport that just don't look like us. It's just stupid. We all look the same when you peel the skin off. I tell you that much. This is just absolutely asinine. I'm blown away by that. We don't need to have that conversation because it doesn't exist in the outdoor world. It just doesn't exist. I want access for everybody. We are and again, we don't do politics here. And we got a couple of cool stories to get into, I promise. But this one just had me jumping mad. We live in a self-segregating society. Whether we like to think about it or not, we do. We just pockets of people of different races, backgrounds, religions, just kind of parse off to their own spot. It's nationwide. I'm not saying, I don't think I'm telling you anything you don't know. So there are communities where, let's say it is a predominantly black community or predominantly Hispanic community that don't have a lot of trees around them. Not saying anything anybody doesn't know here. So the importance of snatching those kids up and their parents and saying, let's go camping, like state parks. State Parks has the coolest. State Parks, holy mackerel, has the coolest program. Take Me Camping. I think that's what it's called. They will go teach an entire family how to camp for like $100. And if anybody has a family that they know that wants to learn how to camp and wants to participate in the program, if there's availability, I will sponsor it. Go Show. You're the Go Show family. Go have some fun. I'll pay it for you. We need to be aggressive in that. And that headline should have read, or could have read, Hunters of Color is on a mission to make the outdoors more accessible to minorities. Mentors of all communities needed. Apply here. Click here, right? No, but this had to separate. We need mentors. We need to mentor kids from all communities, from all, whether their neighborhood has trees or just it's asphalt. Don't care. It's time to, it's all the same. But to put race into this, man, kick rocks. And I wanted to say something a lot worse than that to this Dak Collins bozo. I'm going to get a piece of my mind. I used to be the guy that, like, for reviews and stuff like that, I would give two types of reviews, good reviews and no reviews. Because if I had a terrible experience, I was just like, you know what? Maybe the person was having a bad day or the business was having a bad day or something's going on. And I just didn't know, right? So I just didn't. This guy needs to know what he's doing is bad for our cause. That headline is horrible. And by the way, that is what we call in the business top art. Top art means when you go to a website, the very first article, the very first picture, that's called top art. That's it. That's where you want to be. Like your front page news at that point for Dak Collins. And to go on to Outdoor Life, again, one of my favorite publications, going to Outdoor Life and to see that as top art. Woo! Daddy got to say something. I got to say something. That is just, yeah. Once again, we don't have to have this conversation because it's not there. I have never seen someone in need, and from the smallest things, like, dude, do you have toilet paper? Do you have water? Or can you help me get this deer off the hill? Never said, well, yeah, you're not white. We don't need to have this conversation. And Dak Collins, shame on you for race baiting, and that is not cool one little bit. You don't know our sport then. You don't know our people. If you think that's even an issue that you would have to say whether those white rednecks like it or not, hey, punk, it shows me you don't know. You don't hang. You don't hang out with us. Holy cow. Italian, Christian, Jewish, Mormon, don't care. I don't care if someone's on one side of the issue of the Middle East. I don't care. Let's go fishing. I thank you so much. This is the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a world that we live in. And I'm your host, Mike Russell. I get a little fired up, especially when silly things like that happen. And I get fired up about poaching. If you remember our buddy CJ Alexander, do you remember this cat? CJ Alexander poached the third largest, I think, white-tailed deer ever. It's the third largest record whitetail in history. And it is absolutely staggering. I'm going to see if I can share my screen here and see if I can do that. I'll share my screen again here just so you can see this. Let me find here, share screen. Okie dokie. And CJ right there up top. Let's do it. Share it. Okay. So what you're seeing now is that deer. Look at that thing. Not amazing? The most amazing. Look at that thing. I can't even get my head around that. It's like an elk rack. So that's what this guy, that's CJ. Okay. That's CJ, and that's the record. That's the third largest whitetail in history. How about this, though? This is where I'm celebrating. This stupid poaching, mangy, stupid. What do we got? Stupid, mangy poacher. Hold on. Had some coffee, work that out real quickly. This stupid, mangy poacher has now been indicted on 23 criminal charges. 23. The charges include illegally hunting deer without written permission, hunting without a license, tampering with evidence, jacklighting. Look that up. What the hell is jacklighting? Okay. Anyway, he's rung up on 23 charges. This guy's actually going to see jail time. All right. The charges facing CJ are as follows: 5 counts of illegally hunting a deer without written permission and taking possession of a deer in violation of a division rule. 3 counts of theft by deception. Well, I like that. 2 counts of hunting without a license. Okay, whatever. Hunting without a valid deer permit and tampering with evidence. That's a no-no. 1 count of jacklighting. Oh, okay. So 1 count each of jacklighting, theft, falsification, and sale of wildlife parts, because he actually sold this rack. Yeah. How crazy is that? Yeah, he's actually dude's getting jacked up. Yeah, absolutely love that. And that's what we need. Because if you know one of the biggest things for me is poaching. Poaching is it's the P word here on the Go Show. And it's the nastiest thing in our outdoor world. And when bozos like this actually get rung up for something, I'm all about it. This guy needs to get rung up, and I'm gonna look up right now. We're just gonna do this together. You guys want to do this together? Let's do jacklighting. What is jacklighting? Jacklight. See, it's not even Jacklinks is coming up. All right, let's try this again. GHTING, jacklighting. Yeah, jacklighting meaning. Here we go. Let's go. AI, of course, pops in here. Okay, jacklighting. So cool. Jacklighting is the practice of shining a light into a forest or a field at night to find animals for hunting. That's spotlighting. Jacklighting. Who changed that? It's spotlight. Spotlight on deer. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay, jacklighting. It's just spotlighting. So what spotlighting is, for those that don't that aren't into the outdoor world or newer to hunting, big floodlights, and you can see the deer. You'll see their eyes light up like these lights around me right now. They light up big and they stop. You have deer in headlights, right? Just stop and stare. And people will tag them. Game and Fish has a really cool, I forget what they call the thing, but it is a taxidermy deer. It looks like a real deer. And his head moves. I believe the tail wags a little bit. And they put it out there at night for jack wagons that are out there with their spotlights and shooting them. That thing's been shot a bunch of times, and they just sit there and wait. It's kind of like bait cart. Oh, my gosh. Do you remember that? True TV or Crime TV or whatever the heck it was called? Bait cart. Intern Sarah and I would watch that all the time when she was a little kid. They just set up a car and just people would go steal it. And they have like cameras and they're watching these guys steal the car, and then they shut the car down. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. You shoot that deer out there, that fake deer. And it's, let's do some lights and sirens. Go. But CJ, I hope you go to jail for a little while because you're an idiot. And you make our way of life not look good to everyone else. Because, again, we are in the business of winning hearts and minds. And that does not win hearts and minds. Okay? Let me see if I can find this, because this was a lot of fun, actually. This was, let me do this here. In New Zealand, a bear. Oh no, sorry, this was here. Oh, black bear right there. Yeah. Um, yeah, we'll just start with this article here. All right. A bear killed and ate, not just mauled, killed and ate an elderly woman in her home. It's the first fatal black bear attack in California history. Y'all, this was in California. This wasn't like in Alaska. This wasn't in like Montana, where there's, bears and just rolling around. This was in California. Okay, and this is how government is this. It took more than 6 months for state game agencies to conclusively rule the victim had died due to injuries sustained in the bear attack rather than natural causes. The bear ate her. Come on, people. I don't know. He's over there, got her shoelace hanging out of his mouth, but I don't know. Might have been natural causes. Oh, you're lucky I'm not doing politics right now, because this would have, you all know right where I was going with that one. No, I don't know what it is. Yeah. He's got her arm over there somewhere, but she might have died of natural causes. And the bear just came and at her. The bears aren't going to roll into somebody's house and start eating them. Arr. No, especially somebody dead. Natural causes. Bozos. What a bunch of knuckleheads. Oh, yeah. Well, the bear ate her. I'm going to go ahead and just go with that one. Can we just get, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's as easy as pie, right? If there's a dude that's splattered on the ground next to a 40-story building, guess what I'm going to assume? Yep. Jumper. Oh, let's investigate. He might have had a heart attack coming down the stairs, and a big gust of wind might have jumped. People, come on. But this, and the reason why I bring this up is, A, it's in California. B, y'all need to learn, if you're in any type of environment where there are predators, y'all need to learn firearms and firearm safety and get strapped. Bear spray, I think, is the dumbest thing in the world. Bear spray, I think, I guess it works in times, but you need like a class to use these damn things. I got the play in Wyoming. That was all it was. Bear spray, bear spray, bear spray, bear spray. I'm like, how about my gun? Yeah, I understand. Bears are tough. I get it. But I'm not going to spray mason to be close enough to spray mason to a bear's eyes. No. I'm taking a shot at 30 yards if it's coming at me. Easy. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the trigger till it goes click. If one comes into my house, oh, Yogi, you picked the wrong house to break into. Son, you're gonna be Swiss cheese, and you're gonna be next to my bison rug. That's right where you're gonna be. Yeah, learn some sort of safety. If you go out if you go into the woods, you go on the desert, you go into the lakes and streams, you're an eco-tourist. You go out in the ocean, you're an eco-tourist. I saw another picture the other day of a kayaker, and just like the image of a great white just comes up, and it just kind of nicks the side of the kayak and rolls away. Everybody's aghast, clutching their pearls. Y'all, there's sharks in the ocean. There's bears apparently in Northern California that go into your house and say, "Where's my picnic basket?" Don't have your picnic basket. Guess what happens? Yogi's gonna eat you. That's exactly what happens. I am doing like technical stuff today, and it's absolutely rad. I'm doing stuff here, and I couldn't find. Okay, well, we're just not gonna worry about it then. I actually had a video, and I'll pull it on an FAFO Friday, I guess, of a black bear swimming across a river, and two alligators take it on. Bear wins. If you can't look at, if a black bear can beat two alligators or crocodiles, whatever the one you see later, once you after a while. If a bear can beat them in their home turf, in open water, which is just their turf, it's bite you, spin you, take you down, drown you, and just save you for later. If a bear can take on them, don't let them in your home, or just what. Anyway, bear broke into this woman's home. I don't even know where to go with that, though. I have no idea. Okay, let's get you another update, because this is just fun, and I'm having a good time here, because this is something a little more fun than how we started the show, right? Oh my gosh, hunters, we gotta talk about that. Anyway, do you remember when we did FAFO Friday Orca edition, and there was this bozo in New Zealand that jumped off of his boat and belly flopped on a mama orca with her little baby right next to her. And a lot of that usually you just end up on the Darwin Awards, and it was no big deal because the internet is what the internet is, and because people are stupid. Again, I think the internet is one of the greatest sources of Darwinism. We just remember when we had to guess what people were like. Remember we had to guess if somebody was an idiot or not? No, the internet's taking care of that. Social media's taking care of that. We don't even have to worry. We know exactly if somebody's a bozo or not. Yeah. The man's been caught and he has been fined. Now, this will make you mad. The dude belly flopped on an orca. $600. $600. Drunk, stupid, and a $600 fine. My man CJ there, Jack poached the third largest whitetail in history. Dude's going to jail. You belly flop on an orca, I don't know. Just put him with one of the few remaining orcas in SeaWorld, if they even have any. Just go throw them in the water over there. Say, go play with these dudes. Is Telecom still alive? Let's actually talk about this. Anyway, this guy's fined $600. So obviously New Zealand doesn't take their conservation efforts very seriously. Okay. Is Telecom still alive? I'm going to look up, see if Telecom is still alive. All right, here is Telecom alive. Here we go. Telecom alive? No, Telecom, the famous killer whale, died from a bacterial lung infection back in 2017. Damn. Yeah. He was in SeaWorld's captivity for 33 years. 33 years. Do you remember? Do you remember the CNN documentary Blackfish? As you know, I know one of the family members of the founding family of SeaWorld. So I wasn't happy with Blackfish. Blackfish was meant to take down the orca program, and it did. The Obama administration got OSHA involved. And by the way, rightfully so. SeaWorld, after the founding, SeaWorld, the Tilikum was the whale that the orca that they bred other whales from. I mean, it's artificial insemination. They were on a Tilikum breeding program. Tilikum, I think, killed 3 trainers. Tilikum was a killer whale. Tilikum jacked people. I was at a SeaWorld that I don't know if it was Tilikum, because back in the day, we saw every orca was Shamu, right? Shamu was it. That was it. Or Willie, right? And so I didn't know if it was Tilikum or not. But the Tilikum came up to get the big bucket of fish. Hey, look, I did good. Give me my big bucket of fish. And the trainer came up right next to him. And Tilikum just went, just took her straight to the bottom of the pool. And people jumped out of the back of this place, just slapping the side of the water, horns under the water, like everything, like, get your butt back up here. And sure, Schnitzel did. And she was hightailing it out the other side. I was like, she could have killed. I don't know if that was Tilikum, but that Tilikum had those tendencies. Yeah. But yeah, that was basically exposing SeaWorld for being idiots and keeping Tilikum around. And basically keeping orcas in captivity. It's just not a good look. It's not a good idea. But I do want everybody to understand something that's very important, at least to me in my heart, and I hope you guys follow along with me on this. SeaWorld is responsible for more conservation efforts than probably many other groups that you could possibly think of. I mean, they're at the top of the list. They're a top-tier conservation organization. They're a top-tier education organization, and they are responsible, or the family members and the spinoffs are responsible for damn near saving species of fish and ocean life, augmenting reef programs, internship programs, travel abroad programs. Intern Beans will be in Hawaii, I believe, next week, doing some reef work and helping some turtles get helping some sea turtles get from the beach to the water. I'm not going to play that video for that's awful. But anyway, SeaWorld is, I'll get that in a second. SeaWorld is an amazing organization. I mean, Anheuser-Busch bought it. I don't know who owns the thing now, but it's basically turned into a big beer garden with a bunch of fish tanks. I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. Couple rides. Not really fun. I don't want to go back, but I do support the organization. So if you see Blackfish and you're like, oh, SeaWorld, they're terrible. You know what? Yeah. The world has done worse than put a few orcas into captivity. So we've done worse as as a world. I wouldn't hold SeaWorld's feet to the fire in this case. I caught a 52-pound white sea bass in La Jolla. And my buddy, who I know the family, the founding members of SeaWorld, founding family of SeaWorld, he replied to one of my posts on social media about it, and he said, "You're welcome. That came from my hatchery." I go, "You have a white sea bass hatchery?" He goes, "I have several hatcheries." And just keeping the populations flourishing in Southern California works directly with their conservation departments of game and fish, and just does a huge job. So I don't want to hear any of this all SeaWorld and Tillicum, and Tillicum was a bad move. It just really was. Sorry. And there's a part of Blackfish. There's a scene in Blackfish where I took both the kids and I'm like, dude, you can't look what they're doing right now. That is not okay. Not okay. If you saw it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let's get back to the little turtles. If you haven't seen that, so the big bad turtles, the big, live in 100, 150 years, they come up to the beach once or twice a year and they lay their eggs and they bury them in the sand. And I mean, they're doing this in mass. They're doing this together. Then, months later, I don't know the incubation period. Gestation? Incubation? What's an egg? Anyway, see, I don't have my interns around. They all pop out about the same time. All these little turtles. Boop, 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 boop. And those little moles, woo, they're slap, 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 trying to get to the ocean. I got to get to the ocean. Ah! Here come the birds. Mine. Snagging them up. They're little soft shells and everything, just snagging them. Boop, boop, boop. Just something walking along the beach. Just here comes one. It is the most terrifying thing ever. It's horrifying. So I guess Beans is going to Hawaii to I don't know, scare the birds away or something. Those birds are going to jack her up. She worked out at Tony's place, though, placing birds. So I think I put my money on Beans when it comes to Beans versus the birds. But that's just, it's the reason why I said I won't play. It's awful. They are the cutest things in the world, and you just watch them get snatched up and eaten alive. And they just said they're minutes old. I had a good life, a minute old. And then they make it to the ocean. It's not any easier. And I forget, it's something like stupid, like 10% actually survived to adulthood or something like that. I mean, because they get in the ocean, now all the fish want them. Yeah, little turtle on a soft shell. Mm-hmm. Not good. Hey, happy Monday. Here's what we're gonna do this tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's talk about Father's Day. Father's Day is coming up, and let's talk about giving the good gifts to dad. What do you think about that? And some rules for the road, and which organization, which retailer is stepping up for dads, and which ones are just, yeah. Because I think dads get a shout out once a year. I think that's pretty solid. Dads can get a shout out. Yeah. All right. Hey, y'all, thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'm gonna keep you posted on what if I hear back from Outdoor Life about that stupid race baiting article. We'll talk about that if I do get a response. So thanks for hanging out with me, and we'll see you tomorrow at 11 right here on the Go Show, celebrating all things outdoors in this beautiful outdoor playground of a state, nation, and world that we live in. Have a great